Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's coverage of the Area 51 Thursday Super Speedway Xfinity Series here on Green, White, Checkered. We are very excited to bring you the second event of the season, and yeah, we'll be doing battle at Atlanta Motor Speedway tonight, 90 laps, the scheduled distance here on Green, White, Checkered TV. Looking forward to seeing another great battle on this 1.5 mile Super Speedway style oval. Obviously, we have a couple unique tracks on the schedule with the both of our Xfinity and Truck Super Speedway series, both series on the schedule, and definitely think that this is a unique opportunity at Atlanta because you get a little bit of tire wear on the long runs, but you still get the that wide open throttle and that drafting style of racing here at Atlanta. And I personally do enjoy coming to this track every time it is on the schedule, so it should be a lot of fun. We've seen some of these that have gone, actually the first race we ever ran here in Area 51 at Atlanta Motor Speedway, it went green all the way, and we saw a mixed bag of pit strategies, but the ones who were able to save their tires the most were the ones that were far and above better than the rest of the field. So it'll be interesting to see how drivers are able to take care of those tires tonight and manage traffic as well as the tire degradation over the long fuel run. So we've got about 2.5 minutes left in our lone qualifying session here before we get ready to take to the grid and get this action started. Again, 90 laps tonight, the scheduled distance for Atlanta Motor Speedway, and we are looking forward to another exciting race. We saw last week Rick Sanchez grabbing the win in the first race of the season. See what he can do to continue that streak. A top fives from a bunch of competitors that we expect, but also a couple surprises. Obviously, we saw Brian Wang and Jacob Lee in the top three part-time drivers on the schedule, so we appreciate seeing those guys and those names up there when they get the chance and opportunities to race. Maxwell Caldwell and Kevin Freese looking to have another solid top five run again this week, and pretty early to start looking at the points battle, but obviously we have 8 weeks in the regular season here to consider that before we get into the playoff rounds, and yeah, looking forward to seeing the season progress. As again, we're on that second race of the season with 10 more to go, and still pretty early on in the season here, Matt, and a lot up for
Hi,
grabs.
Boomer. Yeah, it's pretty early in the season, dude. Got a whole lot of racing to go. Hopefully, some of these guys learn from their mistakes. You know, I haven't from the Indy series. So yeah, hopefully some of these guys will capture the first win. Hopefully, a first-time winner. I love first-time winners. Make it happen today. Why not?
Yeah, I think everybody does. Hopefully, we can try and manifest that and see someone grab their first checkered flag here at Area 51 tonight. About 30 seconds left in the qualifying session here. Matt, sounds like you were on pit road down there grabbing some strategy. Any information on fuel numbers or any
No,
strategy ahead of the race tonight?
no, I've been kind of fiercely around. I think the last time what we did, I think it was anywhere from, I think it was 23, 21, about 23 to 21 laps. Uh, I could be wrong. I did take a few laps out there in practice, so you might see my name on the board. So my reading was about 22, 23. Well,
Okay.
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I know. I want to say we've seen a little bit longer than that in the past, but yeah,
Plus, I wasn't in the draft. I
yeah,
was by
exactly.
myself.
So we'll have to wait and see what they can do. So that is the absolute minimum if you're leading, but we'll have to see what these drivers can do in the draft. And in the pack is looks like we have just completed qualifying, so we'll give you those results here. Gabe Butler is going to grab a bonus point in the championship standings there, putting the number 88 on the pole with Justin Lewis to his outside. Austin Call and Rick Sanchez, last week's winner and that number 5 machine are going to be on row number 2 with Maxwell Caldwell, also in the top 5 last night, starting in the top 5 tonight with Bud Steele in the 6, starting 6th. Eric Laurie in the 071 and Andrew Pleshy are going to make up your 4th row of the grid with Jack Walls and Adam Kilday rounding out the top 10 for tonight's starters. Keith Horner and Ambrose Knievel will be on row number 6. We've got Chad Jones and Carl Lingle rocking row number 7 to start tonight with Brian Anderson and Todd Merkel in row 8. We got Kevin Freese in the 25 machine inside of row number 9. And we'll actually promote a couple drivers here. Obviously, Matt not starting, so Jim Brooks will be starting 18th in the outside of row number 9. Nick Wing will be on the inside of row number 10 with Bob Fitzgerald to his outside. We've got Jacob Lee in the mix as well, chiming in already. The Highlighter Bros, let's go. So appreciate the support, Jacob. And he'll be starting from the 21st position with Hondo Longmire and Dean Wilkinson, who will be the last 2 starters for tonight. As pace car is rolling off of pit road. Matt, what you got? Final thoughts before we head into this one? Actually, just a sec. Matt's stepping out to do some admin duty, so he'll be right back. But yeah, looking forward to see a good race. Tire degradation is going to be key, I think. We've seen a lot of that in the past here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's going to be interesting to see how the cautions fall. We've had a huge mixed bag here as far as long green flag runs and short yellow flag runs were consistent back-to-back yellow cautions. So it's really just going to depend on the aggression level of this field and see where that settles out early tonight. But Matt, while we walk down the backstretch here just before the green flag, any final thoughts before we take the green?
Final thoughts. Say your prayers, eat your vitamins. No, I'm not pulling the Hulk Hogan. So stay patient. Execute. Pit stops. I keep praising this every week. And finally, keep your nose clean. Keep your car out of trouble. Don't lose the draft. That's the key here. So I'm ready to get this started.
Pace car is going to pull off onto pit road. The starter will be, control car will be Gabe Butler as he gets up through the gears. Heading off into turn number 1 here for the first lap of 90 at Atlanta Motor Speedway on the Thursday night Xfinity Super Speedway Series. Two by two, they start. Austin College jumps to the outside.
BK is started from the pits. As you see, making his way out onto turn number 2. I didn't realize he was starting in the pits.
Who is that starting in the pits? I don't actually see.
BK Anderson.
Ah, there we go. Brian Anderson there in the 032 machine. So he started in the pits, missed the grid, unfortunately. So he will start 2 laps down.
1-0 down.
Okay.
Your timing of scoring is off, my friend.
It is. It's showing him 2 laps down at the moment, so we'll have to wait and see how that pans out. But so far, it has been the 88 of Gabe Butler leading a couple laps here, with the 94 of Maxwell Caldwell now pushing him. The 64 of Austin Call went to the outside. He's got the help of Justin Lewis there, but that is not enough for the momentum that they have in the inside lane as the first 2 cars are broken away. Eric Laurie and then Jack Walls are 3rd and 4th in line in the inside line, followed by Bud Steele. 3rd car in the outside lane in the mix there is the 5 of Rick Sanchez, last week's winner. And for the most part, that's just about the only guys in the top 10 that are trying the outside line. As we see a couple there, looks a couple Blind Squirrel Racing teammates in the back. Ambrose Knievel in 12th and Carl Lingle currently working that high line, trying to get something going there.
As we've seen Sunday night here on Green Ride Checker TV, that top lane really did not prevail. So far, the bottom lane was the go-to around. Usually on the play tracks, now it's been more like the second lane since we got this what we call it? iRacing's new update. Yeah, with the Tire progression? Is that what it is? Oh, service update. I'm sorry.
Looks like the 64 and the 77 are working pretty well even against the green there, with a advantage a little bit to the bottom there as they get separated and lose a lot of ground off of turn number 4 here, but that's going to keep Gabe Butler in the lead. Definitely pretty easy to click off laps here under green flag conditions. Working on lap number 6 at the moment. Drivers running about 30.5 seconds pretty much throughout the whole field here.
Ooh, got a little calamity in the back, but the 04 just about lost it in the coming out of turn number 4 there and checked up the field there.
Moving backwards a little bit, but he's got a teammate there to help regain that position. Amos Moon is still in the 12th position with a 30 of Carl Engel behind him. A couple guys kind of hanging out in the back here.
Yeah, Kevin's just chilling in the back.
Yeah. Kevin Freese, Jim Brooks, Bob Fitzgerald, Honda Longmire just kind of hanging out in the back trying to stay out of trouble and wait for maybe some inevitable calamity.
Yeah, I know about that one.
Yeah. This time by, though, we've got a new leader up at the front, Austin Call, with the help still from Justin Lewis. He grabs that last lap lead last time around. And
Yeah, he got a big shove by the 77.
Yeah, as the 64 is clear, he's going to make the move to the inside. Ooh, little contact between the 77 and the 88 at the end of the backstretch there, but the 64 is clearing away in the lead on the bottom. Now the 77 finds a hole in the bottom as well. As the 88 is going to try
and
make his
nice
way
move
back
there.
To the outside.
That was a well-timed move by the 77 there.
Yeah, 77 and 64, pretty solid moves there. I mean, really, the 77 with the power there to, set up both of those moves, really gave Austin Call the opportunity and then took the opportunity himself to get down on the bottom.
Yeah, but Gabe Butler's found Richard Sanchez. He's pretty good pusher here, trying to propel him back up toward the front, which, to be quite honest with you, it shouldn't take that long.
Have to wait and see, as it looks like Gabe is just about clear of the 64 machine heading into the backstretch. As they pull even there at the end of turn number 2. See if the 88 can get clear. Not quite, heading into turn 3.
He should get the run coming down toward the front stretch here. Well, not as much as I thought he did. Hey, he did get a run.
It's the 88, the 5, and the 75. First 3 cars in the outside lane. The 64, the 77, and the 94. First 3 cars in the inside lane.
That 75 car almost looks like like a... Remember the old Maxwell House coffee paint scheme that Sterling Marlin drove? And
definitely does. Yeah, the 75 of Chad Jones. Yep. Rocking the Stroh's light car. As far as I know, that is most of those guys. I can't remember which. Yeah, most of them are in the Merkel Racing Channel, but they're kind of calling themselves the junk food team because they've got Stroh's light, they've got the 94, the hot tamales, and Maxwell Caldwell, and a bunch of other snack foods and junk foods. There with the Andrew Pelesci and the 82 trolley car, so they're kind of the snack food and junk food team that they've kind of called themselves. So it's fun to see that creativity in the paint schemes there, Maxwell and the rest of the crew.
And don't forget about the Nilla wafers, but I do like the banana pudding though.
Nilla wafers are good. I think Jack Walls is actually running with a different team there with Roswell Motorsports, but nonetheless, some really great looking. Food-themed paint schemes. You got the Team Bootnaka cornflakes, old Terry Labonte scheme on the Kevin Freese 25 machine. So lots of great-looking race cars out here. So Rick Sanchez has quietly moved towards the front. He's getting good pushes from Chad Jones there in the outside lane. As now the 80 is going to pull even, but trying to get that 5 to the front here. As we continue to battle 2x2, about 10 cars deep. Most of the field in this pack here, the tail end of it being Bob Fitzgerald. And we're getting close to lapping the 032 of BK Anderson here, as he started from the pits. And then we've also got Nick Wing all by himself as well. He is a couple laps down, had to jump to the pits at some point in time. Not sure if there was an issue or a wreck for him, but he is
Yeah,
now
he had a little bit.
2 laps down.
Yeah, he had a little bit of a connectivity problem, so unfortunately he has to start the race a couple of laps down. That's pretty unfortunate for him. But nonetheless, anything can happen, and getting your laps backs here is actually it's pretty hard.
Yeah, I typed his symptoms into Google, and it says you may have network connectivity issues. But the 88 continues to lead from the inside lane here. Not a lot of help from the 64 there, but the 5 and the 75, as well as the 04 and the 30, all lined up pretty well nose to tail in the outside lane. More momentum there, as the 5 is trying to grab that lead from the 88. They're going to have the lap car again of BK Anderson in just a moment, the 032 machine.
You're good right now, but I'll monitor it.
Oh, a little bit of contact with the wall for Ambrose Knievel. That 04 machine is slow. Drifting a little wide, unfortunately, and making contact with that outside wall there. Hopefully he can stay with the draft, but with that impact, I would guarantee that's going to slow his car down.
Yeah, he did have a little bit connectivity issues. The admin told him to move to the back and made just a little bit of slight contact with the wall. I don't know how much damage he's got, but I think he may lose the draft here, Boomer.
Yeah, I think he already has. He's about 1.8 seconds off the rear bumper of Bob Fitzgerald. Usually, you got to be within at least 1 second, maybe a little bit more if you got too wide action ahead of you, but it's over 2 seconds there. I don't think he's going to be able to hold on. We'll have to wait and see, but he is definitely slowly fading here as our leaders continue to battle at the front. Rick Sanchez in the outside lane. I believe he actually got that lap led that last time by, and Gabe Butler in the inside lane. Interesting that Gabe Butler has about a car length gap back to the 64 of Austin Call, but is still able to stay even with the 5, as we're going to try and split 3 wide with the lap traffic here of BK Anderson. We'll see how this goes through 3 and 4. So far, so good.
Oh, yeah, plenty of room here.
Plenty of room on the front stretch, but we'll have to see how they get through turns 1 and 2, as the 032 is going to try and hang on to the draft here and might actually get a chance to jump in line here earlier than he thought.
Yeah.
BK holding the pretty
That was a little
there.
sketch there. It's pretty tough here.
Yeah, it's
holding
pretty
that
tough.
3 wide in the trial. Yeah, especially to the trial, as we saw the mistake by the 04 there. But it looks like BK is going to hang on to the draft here. Yeah. He's only scored 1 lap down, but never count BK out.
Definitely a bit aggressive to stay on the outside there with the limited space at Atlanta, but held a pretty line and was able to let the pack on by. So we will continue green flag action. 88 leading the inside lane with a 75 and the 64 in tow. The 5 with the push and the 30 of Carl Lingle, as well as the 21 of Jacob Lee. Getting close here to starting to consider pit stops.
Yeah, but getting pretty close. Looks like everybody's starting to guessing a foul. Nope, still 2x2. It looks like some people are trying to find a hole.
2x2 down the back stretch as the 5 just barely not clear over the nose of the 88. Can't quite get down as they come down the front stretch here. 5 going to lead that lap.
Yep. He was kind of really hoping a big push here by Carl Lingle there. Hopefully he can... Whoa, just a little bit out of shape there. Hopefully he can get the good push. Hopefully get right in front of Gabe and have a nice clean pit in.
Little disconnection there at the entrance or exit of turn 2 there for the 30 pushing the 5, and unfortunately the 5 not able to get ahead of the 88. But the outside lane is doing pretty good work. They're working hard for sure, as you still see the disconnection from the inside lane, but it doesn't mean much for them. They don't have to work that hard to keep that lane going, but you see the 30 pushing as much as he can on the 5 there. A little disconnected at the end of the back straightaway, not enough for the 5 to get down. But it's definitely, it's hard work if you're willing to get up there and grab it and do it. So we'll have to wait and see if anybody can get ahead of that 88, or if they're just going to have to find a spot, settle back in line, and get ready for pit stops here coming up.
Well, Boomer, my fuel numbers are wrong. That's what I get for running by myself.
That'll happen. See, I don't think that they can stretch this to 2 stops. I think under green flag conditions they may need to do more, but who knows? Maybe it is closer to a 2-stop race. It's just been a minute since we've been racing here at Atlanta, and quite honestly, the memory forgets. So. Move to the bottom there for Jacob Lee. He's going to find his spot to get ready to pit. 43 of Hondo Longmire and the 25 of Kevin Freese have kind of slowly crept their way into the picture here, as they're now the 3rd and 4th cars in the outside lane. Hondo up 18 spots at the moment, Kevin up 11. Jacob Lee also up there. He is going to grab 15 spots gained so far. The very similar Toyota Supras for the 43 and the 21.
Looks like they're coming in there. Yep. Bunch of cars.
This side by, oh, a big wreck for the 21. He's going to go around Jacob Lee.
Yeah, he got a little bit too hot trying to come down pit road there.
That's going to be caution. The first of the night.
No, he actually.
Well, we'll take it back to the replay here and see if we can understand what happened there to the 21 of Jacob Lee. As he gets loose and then gets tagged by the 64. So starting to slide and then tagged after the fact. Didn't help the cause, but, I mean, came really close to hitting some of the cars in the field. That is incredible. Some cars grabbing a little bit of the wall after squeezing between the 21 and the wall, but able to stay running. So I think we'll jump this back one last time, but it looks like the 21, we'll back it up just a little bit, change the camera angle for you here, and see if we can understand a little more about what happened. But through the corner here, you see the 21 coming down. Checks up a little bit for the 43, gets a little loose, but I think most of that was help from the 64. I don't think he knew that the 21 was pitting. And the 21 goes around. And a couple drivers locking up the brakes real hard, trying to avoid pit lane. Look at Kevin Freese here, just barely missing that cone to not have to come down pit road there. We will jump back to it, though, as we have pit stops underway. Starting with the 5 of Rick Sanchez, leading the field down. The 88 of Kevin Freese and the 30 of Carling. A little bit of a disconnection there from the rest of the field. As we see the rest of the field finally joining down pit road. Gabe Butler along with others. And we'll see Rick Sanchez is going to win the race off of pit road, followed by Chad Jones and Gabe Butler, Adam Kilday, and Carl Lingle. First 5 off of pit road. Everybody coming in that time by. And we will take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back for the restart.
40 Racewear, maker Of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 4D racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 4dracewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim.
And you saw a word from our wonderful sponsor, 4dracewear.com. Don't forget, use the code AREA5115, that's AREA5115 for a 15% off discount at 4dracewear.com for all your sim racing apparel. Winners of, basically, we'll have some winners. We don't have exactly how we'll spread it out, but some winners will be the recipients of gloves this season, as they gave away shoes to all of our championship winners last season. So always appreciate that support from 4dracewear.com, as we are back under green after the first yellow flag at the beginning of the first green flag pit cycle there. Everybody being able to go looking like in the high 20s, so we'll still have 2 pit stops to go here through the rest of the race. So I don't know, it'll be close, but we'll have to wait and see if everybody can stretch it on 1 for the rest of it here. But Chad Jones is going to jump out to the outside, getting the push from Kevin Freese. The 75 on the 25, the 5 and the 88 are on the inside. And a lot of cars came back down, it looks like, for extra fuel, and there was a lot of single file action in the grid as we came back to the green flag there, Matt.
Yep. Well, there's gonna be a lot of cars put for extra fuel, but I don't see any concern for that right now. We're not. That's what you're getting about an extra lap or 2 out of it. But track position is pretty key here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's not like Daytona or Talladega where you get like easy 3 lanes. This is a little bit more different.
Yeah, it's a lot different. There's 40 feet of width here from the entrance of turn 1 to the exit of turn 4. The front stretch is as wide as 65 feet. But yeah, there's definitely not a lot of room. It's kind of crazy to think Daytona is just as wide as Atlanta is, but with the speeds of this track compared to the size of the track, it's definitely a lot harder to control cars here at Atlanta than it is at Daytona. And then you have an extra 8 feet of racing width at Talladega Superspeedway, which makes it a lot more comfortable to do 3-wide action there. So yeah, definitely. And then obviously iRacing Superspeedway is like 50 car lengths wide, you know, about 150 feet wide. Not that wide, but you get the point. It's pretty crazy how wide that track actually is. Probably could go 7 or 8 wide comfortably. But
yeah.
Yeah. Rick Sanchez is going to jump down in front of the 88. Lead from the bottom there. Actually, they've been that way since the restart, as the 75 is in the outside lane, still getting the push from the 25. And like you said, that track position really hasn't changed too much. We've seen a couple drivers come up through the field. Hondo Longmire and Kevin Freese, actually, as well as Jacob Lee, too, still up quite a few spots from their original starting position. So is actually Chad Jones and Carl Lingle. So Hondo is up 14. Jacob Lee also up 14 at the moment. Kevin Freese up 13. Chad Jones up 11. And Carl Lingle up 9. And nobody else really even close to some of those numbers. Jim Brooks is up 6 spots, but those are pretty much the biggest movers of the race so far, as we are well within the second third of this race. Working on lap 36 at the moment.
Well, Boomer, been a nice recovery for BK Anderson. Was the beneficiary of that lucky dog the last time. Now look at him.
Yeah, we failed to mention that as the yellow came out, but great point, the 032. Brian Anderson solidly in the top 10 at the moment. As
Doing
the rest
a very
of the
good
field behind
job.
him is just single file action.
So he's had some new equipment for him. You know, that's great for him. He's So now he had a little bit trouble with it, but it looks like he's got everything sorted out. Hopefully he can contest here for the win.
We do see Adam Kilday is 1 lap down, as well as Keith Horner. Eric Laurie a few more laps down, so some extracurricular activities, it sounds like, after the yellow there for some contact that we didn't quite catch in the broadcast. It does appear Nick Wing is 4 laps down. So Eric Laurie is 3, Nick Wing is 4, and then Adam and Keith, Adam Kilday, Keith Horner are 1 each themselves. So have to keep an eye on that lucky dog battle if a caution were to come out, because as of right now, Keith is actually not quite scored. I don't have. Oh, there's Adam Kilday there with Eric Laurie. So these two are in a pack together. But it looks like it's only Adam Kilday 1 lap down at the moment, actually.
Yep.
Got some issues with timing and scoring there. That's finally updating. So apologies for that mistake. So Adam Kilday is the only one 1 lap down. Eric Laurie is 2 laps down, as well as, or he's 3 laps down, and Nick Wing is also 3 laps down. I'm not scoring. It's not showing that Keith Horner is being scored anymore. Not much has changed since the restart on lap 31. Actually, lap 30, coming to 31 here. It's still the 75, the 25, and the 21 in the outside lane, the 5, the 88, and the 30 in the inside lane. And most of the rest of this front pack settled out in single file action from about 10th on back. Oh, we missed a question. We missed a question from Muff Duff here, Matt. M&M's or Reese's Pieces?
Reese's Pieces.
Reese's Pieces. I would probably say Reese's Pieces too. I like M&M's, but there's something about that peanut butter flavor that's pretty good. Now I will say, if we're talking like flavored M&M's, I'm going caramel for M&M's because those are incredible. But just the plain flavors, going Reese's Pieces over M&M's.
Oh yeah, I gotta take. Oh, what a move by Kevin! That is going to leave Chad Jones out to dry, pretty much.
Should be able to settle in at about 10th place or so, but yeah, what a move from Kevin Freese. He's going to root out the 75, take the middle for himself, and he's going to bring Jacob Lee and Hondo Longmire along with him, as well as the 032, of BK Anderson. Pretty much the most movement that we've seen since the restart here, Matt.
Yeah, a lot of people have been making moves here, but eventually Kevin has found his way to the front.
So I was cutting you off when I asked about the M&M's or the Reese's Pieces there, Matt.
Yeah.
What were you going for there when you were when I cut you off so rudely?
I don't remember. It's muffed off. Just leave me.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, peanut M&Ms are pretty solid. I still think the caramel M&Ms are my absolute favorite. Actually, honestly, those or the peanut butter. I would take peanut butter M&Ms over Reese's Pieces, but I would still take plain Reese's Pieces over plain M&Ms.
Looks like I have a big push war over here between the 21 pushing the 25 and the 88 pushing the 5.
Yeah, really not much, again, has changed as far as the running order after the restart there, but they're trying to get that 25, the 25, and the 21 are trying to get the 25 pushed ahead to the lead there ahead of Rick Sanchez. Not quite able to do it just yet, but they're working hard at it lap after lap. We are halfway through this one. Oh, big push from the 21 there. Gets the 25 a little squirrely, but we remain green.
He's got good car control. He'd be all right. Till it gets lopsided.
Yeah, that was a good save for sure. Definitely easy to lose the car when it gets unbalanced like that down the backstretch. Getting a push like that through the middle of the corner, though, pretty much, I mean, probably a very, very, very small few people can handle that at that point, but still a very great maneuver for the 25 to keep it pointed straight. .47 working on 48 here. About 20 laps since everybody has last pitted as the 25 is going to make the move into turn 1. Haven't seen that yet. Everybody making that move off of, or into turn 3 off of the backstretch. But a great run down the front stretch for the 25 off the nose of the 21. That's going to back the 21 up just a little bit. Now 3 cars in the inside lane are going to break away, the 25, the 5, and the 88. And maybe a few more as the 30 is going to almost get clear of the 21 as well. Bud Steele, their 5th car in the inside line, has had a very quiet night.
Very quiet night.
But a very good position just outside the top 5 pretty much all night long. In the top 5 now, up 1 spot from the starting position of 6th. As he's been...
Ooh, look at that run on the outside.
Yeah. 21 and the 43 trying to regroup and make their way back towards the front. As a 25 is going to jump to the outside and let people by.
I think he wants to drop to the back here there, Boomer.
Yeah, it looks like it. That's an interesting
Yeah, because
point
he's going
in time.
to 3rd lane.
Interesting point in time to do that.
Yeah, I know. I'm quite curious.
Could be... No, couldn't have been overheating, but we'll have to...
Oh.
Yeah, never know. Can only speculate, obviously, at that point, but it is interesting that he is dropping to the back. Maybe he was trying to save some fuel or had some internet issues. I'm not sure, but I didn't see him blinking or anything, so he's going to settle back here between Jim Brooks and Justin Lewis. Justin Lewis had that good run at the beginning, but he just kind of settled back out in 12th, and I think we're probably getting ready to see people start pitting here. Maybe, who knows? That was interesting to see the 25 surrender their lead like that. So now it's mostly single file. The only 2 that are really in the outside lane are the 21 and the 43. Don't see them in chat, but we can assume based on the paint schemes that they are working together there, trying to make as much progress as they can before the next pit cycle, as Todd Merkel has come in by himself. So he is the lonely man on pit road. And we'll wait and see how soon until others join them, as we probably still have about 10 more laps before the rest of the field starts to come down pit road. Again, last pitting at lap 28. Obviously that was under yellow, but if you double that, that'll be about lap 56 there, if math is not, no, math's not correct. Yeah, 56, 28 times 2, 56, something like that.
Hi.
So they will be coming soon.
Yes, we are.
Here we go.
All right, about maybe 5-6 laps. Hey, Boomer.
Yes, sir.
Hop on board the 25.
We will watch 25. Got a cockpit view here. What you looking at here, Matt?
Kevin Freese is shutting the car on and off when he comes down the straight. Very interesting. Saving max fuel.
Oh yeah, cutting the car off into turn 1. You can hear it there, and you can see the tach go to 0 or 2 about. Shutting it off or just clutching?
I can't really tell if he's clutching or not.
I think just clutching, because it looks like the RPM's only dropped to about no less than 2 grand or so. But saving some fuel.
Interesting. Yeah.
You
were right. You were spot on.
Yeah, we mentioned it. It's pretty close to being able to... Actually, no, he looks like he is shutting it off. The tach going down to 0 that corner. I don't know, we'll have to wait.
Yeah, because it would have gotten 2,000. Yeah, he's shutting it off.
Yeah, under 2,000. So he's shutting it off for at least a second or so. But yeah, interesting to see. We mentioned when we went green, if you can stretch to 30 laps, it would be kind of tight, but you might be able to go the rest of the distance. And
that's probably what Kevin is thinking.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think when he realized that he might be able to go the distance, it sounded like he wanted to just get back in the pack and grab some extra fuel. If he doesn't have anybody else doing it with him, though, he's going to be at the mercy of everybody else that is going to have that opportunity. So who knows if anybody's going to be able to go with him. Fairly short field for the Team Bootnaka Esports drivers with Gabe Butler, Kevin Freese, and Eric Laurie. You're seeing a few more of those drivers on track, but have to wait and see if that works out. It'd be very tight on fuel, but it's not impossible, I don't think. So, but we'll have to wait and see as Rick Sanchez continues to lead the field around single file. Got to be
We are getting the call there, Boomer.
Yep, moments away from pitting.
Right now, the leaders, some of the leaders are pitting. Yep, here they come.
The 5 is in, the 30 is in, the 21 of Jacob Lee, BK Anderson, Honda Longmire, Ambrose Kniebel, Gabe Butler, and Bud Steele are going to remain at the front of the pack with Jack Walls, Chad Jones, and Jim Brooks, as they are slowly catching the lap car of Todd Merkel here down the backstretch.
Now I'm going to see how long can Kevin Freese go.
Looks like the 88 in this time by. We got a spinner.
Looks like Chad Jones lost it trying to come down the pit road, or maybe he got tagged from behind. I have no clue.
Back and see if we can. We'll have to go back and see if we can watch what happened here. We got the 75 of Chad Jones, and pretty much the same case as last time. 75 gets a little bit of a tag from behind. Maybe a little more of a tag than the last caution there, but the 75 is going to slide. And Austin Call is going to collect some damage. So Austin Call involved in both of these incidents so far. Unfortunate for the 75 there. As we're going to jump back live here. Looks like Bud Steele is going to lead the field down pit lane. Jack Walls, Justin Lewis, Kevin Freese, Maxwell Caldwell, all coming in. A couple drivers who have already made their pit stops. Looks like Gabe Butler did actually already pit. I think he's going to be trapped a lap down, though, as will the rest of... No, not quite. Gabe will be on the lead lap, so thankfully the way the caution fell, that was okay for him, but... to wait and see how.
I think the 32 did. Wait a minute, hang on. I'm trying to confirm here who got the lucky dog. Did Adam Kilday get that lucky dog?
No, he could. No, maybe he did. No, it's a good question. But Jack Walls and Justin Lewis are actually going to win the race off of pit road. The 28 of Nick Wing there in the middle, but he is a lap car. Then Bud Steele, Jim Brooks, and Kevin Freese will be your top 5 coming out of pit road. And we will be right back after this quick commercial break.
40 Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 40 racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 40racewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim.
And again, you see the message there from 40racewear.com. Area 5115 is the discount code to use for 15% off at 40racewear.com. Sim racing apparel, they've got gloves and shoes and plenty of other really great stuff. We appreciate all their support throughout the years here at Area 51. The 40 Racing team is more committed to the Tuesday night series, but they do support everybody throughout Area 51, and again, we always appreciate that. Last season they donated a pair of racing shoes to every championship winner at Area 51, and this year it sounds like there's going to be a little bit of a lottery for drivers who complete so many races, but we'll be looking forward to that, as they're going to give away more to the league here, as we're going to be back to green flag action. As we get up through the gears, the 83 of Jack Walls is going to lead us to the green flag. And we are still slightly behind. Apologies on the in replay mode here, so we're going to jump ahead just a little bit to live now, as you see Jack Walls continuing to lead after the restart with the help of Bud Steele in the outside lane into the 77 of Justin Lewis and Jim Brooks. These five staying out after pitting the first time, and most of the rest of the field pitting before the yellow flag and taking the wave around. That includes Carl Engel, Rick Sanchez, Jacob Lee, and Hondo Longmire pit last at lap 58. Brian Anderson at 58 as well. So the top five.
Oh, we got
a wreck here. 83 of Jack Walls, contact from behind. Was that Austin Call involved again? Much more damage for the 64 this time by.
We have to go back and take a look there, buddy.
Yeah, had to see how this one came to.
Oh.
Started up from further up in the field.
Yes, it did.
83 of Jack Walls already spinning, so we're going to try that again from the replay aspect. And we'll back it up as we see him spinning.
Yeah, that was I don't know what to call that there, Boomer.
Just kind of gets loose and touches the apron. Obviously, the contact from the 6 late, but nothing to get him to go around spinning the 64. Getting hit from behind as he tries to check up, and that is a ton of damage as the 08 gets by with just a little bit of damage there. Austin Call making contact with a 30, the 5, the 21 potentially as well. And it has not been Austin Call's night for sure. Obviously made the slightest bit of contact to bring out the first yellow, and then got collected in both the last two cautions that were, not of his own doing. Just, as you say, they must have had a little, lost a little bit of traction there from the front, and chaos ensues. So we will jump live now. Most of the pit stops have actually gone through, as you'll see Justin Lewis and Bud Steele come out. Actually not pitting. They've actually stayed out. So Justin Lewis, Bud Steele, and Jim Brooks. Kevin Freese is the first car out of pit lane. Andrew Pileshi, Maxwell Caldwell, Jack Walls, Carl Lingle pitting this time by. Austin Call, BK Anderson, and Bob Fitzgerald on pit road, repairing extensive amounts of damage. And Ambrose Knievel, Adam Kilday, Gabe Butler, Todd Merkel all finding themselves at least one lap down. I'm not sure what happened to Gabe Butler there, though. We saw him actually pitting before that yellow flag came out. So Gabe had about 33 seconds in his pit stall the last time by on lap 63 while we were under green flag conditions. So thankfully, I think the yellow flag at least allowed him to catch back up to the field. Not really sure if that was a penalty or what.
Yeah, so that probably had to be when they were coming. I don't know. That's quite weird.
Yeah, as they were going to the green flag, he was coming off. But we'll get that sorted away, and we'll try and take a quick commercial break and come back for the green flag.
40 Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 40 racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 40racewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim.
All right, we are ready to lead the field. Back to green flag action here. Third caution of the night. This is pretty much going to eliminate fuel strategy, as everyone's going to be able to go the distance here. As the 77 of Justin Lewis, considering it to be go time here. As he kind of hung out in the back for a while and is back at the front of the pack, ready to mix it up and try to grab this victory. He is going to lead the field to the green flag up through the gears here in these Xfinity Series stock cars. As we've got 23 to go this time by.
So I did a little digging investigation of why did the 83 car spin. So I was looking at their last two stops. All they took was right side tires. So that probably could be a contributing factor of how he lost it. Because 4 tires here is pretty necessary sometimes. You can't just take right sides. That's generally a good recipe for disaster.
For sure, yeah, definitely tires are going to come into play like we mentioned at the start of the broadcast, but I'm going to take a moment here, Matt, and grab the static TV cameras and do a little crank it up. Ooh, a spinner and a huge hit on the inside wall, but we stay green.
Oh! I think he blew up. Yep, sure did.
That was a huge incident for Nick Wing that you saw flying off the screen, hitting the inside pit wall.
Oh, man.
We stay green, though.
That was a violent hit, too.
Yeah, that was a big hit. I'm debating whether we go back and watch it on replay or if we just keep going just in case any action happens.
We'll keep going.
Yeah, we'll keep going. But 19 laps to go.
Because we got a new leader, pretty much, Justin Lewis.
Yeah. Yeah, he led us back to the green flag there. Saw him mixing it up in the outside lane there early on and kind of settled to the middle for the middle portion of the race. But he is back, and considering a go time here in that 77, he is leading the inside lane. He's got the help of the 51 of Jim Brooks. In the outside lane, it's the 6 of Bud Steele with Kevin Freese, the 25. Kevin Freese and Jim are highest climbers at the moment. Jim up 16, Kevin up 14 starting positions, or from their starting positions, I should say. Bob Fitzgerald is up 13, up to 9th.
You know one driver we hadn't talked about today? That 94 Maxwell Copwell, sitting there just lurking right there in the 7th spot. Had a chance last week to get a win, but it just wasn't meant to be for him. Hopefully, toward the end of this race, he can sneak on by there and grab a nice little W.
Yeah, he's got his teammate there, the 82 of Andrew Pileski, another name we haven't really talked about too much tonight, kind of creeping back into the picture. Maxwell obviously starting the race in 5th, but hasn't really spent much time up at the front trying to conserve that car in the back and outlast the chaos. But so far, they're in the spots that they need to be while they need the track position late. So have to wait and see how that plays out. So we are now looking at 16 laps to go to the scheduled distance of 90 laps here at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Yeah, nice little lucky dog battle between, looks like, Ambrose Knievel, Todd Merkel, and Gabe Butler.
Side by side at the moment there. The 22 on the inside, the 04 on the outside. The 22 has it at the moment. The 88 behind the 04, trying to grab that lucky dog if a yellow were to come out.
Oh, looks like I think Gabe is going to try to go on the third lane to the outside.
He thinks better of it and backs off for
No,
now.
he's got no help there. He was trying to make it work there for a second. Looks like he's trying to get it the hard way.
Justin Lewis continuing to lead here with the help of the 51 of Jim Brooks. Outside still is the Bud Steel Navy machine, that Ford Mustang, pushed by the 25 Chevrolet of Kevin Freese.
It looks like Gabe's going to take that spot.
Gabe's going to grab it on the high side the hard way. A good run down the front straightaway puts Gabe Butler well into the lucky dog position. He's got a battle with that 22, that bright yellow machine, the fifth car in the inside lane at the moment. As Master Butler is a little loose on the inside, heading into turn 3, but all is well.
The question is, my question to you, they can't make it the rest of the way, can't they?
No, they definitely can. Everybody, after that last yellow, can make it the rest of the way.
They'll be about maybe about 5 laps short, maybe 6.
No, they'll make it the rest of the way.
Oh, they'll make it the rest of the way.
Yep.
Excuse me. Oh, the 77 just got turned.
77 to the inside. And that's going to do it for him. No caution. We are going to go back to that one to see how that unfolded. He slides up, makes contact with the 6. Man, that's hard to put blame anywhere. I mean, I feel like the 6 was holding the line pretty well. The 7 was just kind of following the natural arc of the tri-oval there, and
yeah, I really can't fault anybody for that.
At least he keeps it off the wall.
Yeah, that's the most important thing.
Not out of it, but not in a great position either, as we'll jump back live to our leaders now as Kevin Freese has found his way to the inside lane, now with the help of Jim Brooks. And the 6 and the 30 will be in the outside lane. 9 to go this time by.
I feel your pain, Justin. I really do. It sucks.
Yeah, he showed some promise. Really strong car early on, and was in a really good position there. But unfortunately, just drifted up too high potentially, and Bud Steel kind of holding his line for the most part there. I would call that more of a racing incident. I wouldn't really blame it, but
oh no, that's hard
sucks.
racing.
Yeah, it sucks to have that happen for sure.
But up front, looks like it's the Bud Steel and Kevin Freese show. But can Carl Lingo sneak on by?
Yeah, we saw Carl was capable of winning. Got his first
win
last season here.
Can he do it again?
He actually upset Bud Steel to do it too, and
he's Steel right behind him. Can he return the favor?
Had a couple races for Bud Steel to lose there, so we'll see if the 30 is able to push him to the line, as there's a little bit of contact further on back. 04 of Ambrose Knievel looks like he's in the wall once again. 7 laps to go. We focus our efforts here on the leaders. It's the 6, the 30 in the outside lane. The 88 is 1 lap down. Then it's the 032 BK Anderson machine. On the inside is the 25 of Kevin Freese, followed by Jim Brooks. The 82 of Andrew Pileshi. and the 94 of Maxwell Caldwell. 6 to go, the outside lane with the advantage. The 6 leading that lap that last time by with the help of Carl Lingle.
Yeah, I'm just looking for that big run by Carl. Looks like he has to back out a little bit, and they're going to lose about a car length, and I think Kevin's going to go straight to the top here. Oh, it is going to check up the third lane. Looks like Gabe Butler's going to come to the third lane now. Now he's going to lose the lucky dog to the 22 now.
That's going to shuffle things up a little bit there. The move to the outside didn't bode well for the 25 of Kevin Freese. The 51 of Jim
It's a beneficiary for Jim Brooks there, but look at the push by Bud Steele there is giving the 25 a big push on the front straightaway.
Kevin picking the line and the push that he wanted to get from the 6 of Bud Steele. We'll have to see if it works out for him. 4 to go this time by Jim Brooks, given the position there.
He's trying to hang
the lead
on.
Of the inside lane.
Yeah, he's trying to hang on because Kevin is pinching Jim out toward the bottom because after a while, those tires start to heat up and the car will gently drift up the track and lose all momentum.
You'll see everyone getting a little antsy here.
Yeah,
it's back and forth. 51 by himself right now, drifting up just a little bit on exit. Still getting the push on the 82.
Andrew Palacio was a little bit off center, so he had to back off. So now that invited Kevin Freese to get back up toward the top lane and almost retake the lead here. But at the line here, it's going to be Jim Brooks here. 2 to go, Boomer.
2 to go indeed. Kevin Freese getting the push from the 6 of Bud Steele on the outside, the 51 of Jim Brooks with the 82, and the 94 of Maxwell Caldwell in the inside lane. We are coming around. Flagman has the white flag in the air. We'll see if they can wave it.
And it looks like Barney is going to wave that white flag. 1 lap to go.
1 lap to go. No yellows will end this race. We will race back to the line as the 94 gets shuffled out of line. That's going to do it for his night, but it's still the 51 and the 82 in the inside lane. The 25, the 6, and the 30 have the momentum down the back straightaway. The 6 with a big push. The 75 and the 43 wrecking in the background. The 25 jumps to the inside. He's got the push from Bud Steele. He's going to be able to throw the block. I don't think there's going to be anyone coming with a run. The 25 solidly in the lead, and he's going to grab his first victory of the season. 2nd place for Bud Steele. 3rd place for Carl Lingle. Jim Brooks settling for 4th, and a great comeback for BK Anderson in the top 5.
Good job, BK. That was a tight battle for 3rd there. Jim and Carl were battling out there, but Jim lost all momentum with the 82 pushing, and
yeah, interesting there at the end. Kevin Freese is going to get the win. He's pushing Honda Longmire there back to the front straightaway.
Yeah, well, good sportsmanship there.
Finish the race for Honda there as he turns him into the outside.
Oh, God. Oh, man.
So we got a few people to talk to here, as we see in the background the 25 of Kevin Freese going to be doing a little bit of celebrating, but yeah, definitely an exciting finish there. Bummer to see fuel mileage almost completely taken out of this one, as we had a yellow just about every time we tried to get down pit lane for green flag pit cycles, but we mentioned at the top of the show that that's kind of the way that it happens. You know, it's a tire degradation race, but have to wait and see how the cautions fall, because they can be numerous or they can be scarce. And tonight, I wouldn't even say numerous, but definitely had some timely cautions to really take away the pit strategy in this one, Matt. But with that, we will bring up our first interviewee, and that is the 30 of Carl Lingle. A great run for you. You pretty much spent most of the time towards the front of the pack. Why don't you take us through what it took to get to that third place finish tonight there, Carl?
Well, a lot of luck.
It is majority luck there, bud.
It is. Atlanta's, I don't know, it's a tough track, especially when you're like the group racing like that. There's nowhere really to go. So,
Well,
so the
I
only
would.
thing you could do is just, find a spot, commit to stay in there, and hope for the best.
So my question to you is, I know you had a nice little battle at the toward the last stint there. What was your mind going through trying? You just hang around Bud Steele right in that third row. Were you even thinking about trying to make it 3 wide going into the last lap?
No, I mean, there really wasn't. Why push the issue and cause a wreck? It's at least better to come home in third in one piece.
Yeah, I probably see that.
Yeah, so that's it. That's what this one was pretty much just trying to play it safe.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, you guys, I know you say play it safe, but you were still pretty much in the mix throughout the most of the race there. I mean, it seemed like that was kind of the intention or the plan before Amber's had some connection issues. But there it sounded like for Blind Squirrel Racing, you guys were going to try and stay up at the front for most of this one.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the thing of it is like I said, there's nowhere to go. So there's really not a lot of passing opportunities. So, it's if you could get up towards the front, just do what you can and stay up there and stay safe.
We also
Do that.
mentioned throughout the show tire degradation was going to come into play, and it seemed like for the most part, a couple guys taking two tires, right side tires, had a little bit of a disadvantage at different times. But did you guys notice there was, that tires were needed to be taken every time you guys pit?
No, actually, the first pit stop's the only time I changed tires.
Oh, so you went the
Wow.
last 60 laps or so on the same set?
Yeah.
Interesting.
That is really surprising.
It is very interesting because I seen you didn't take right sides or anything like that, or
No, I tried once.
and did it get loose? Did it get
Yeah,
loose?
I
Okay,
tried one.
that explains why. Okay.
Yeah, It's if you can't take 4 tires, take nothing because it just gets like too loose.
Okay, that explains why the 83 spun. Thank you for clearing that for me.
No problem.
Yeah, it definitely looked like once you guys had the track position towards the end, was it the second to last? You didn't pit on the last pit stop, right? The second to last pit stop, you had that track position and just kind of stuck with it the rest of the race there, correct?
I was on pit road when the caution came out, so at that time I was only committed to fuel because I thought it was going to be a green flag.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that makes more sense. But I mean, still, for the most part, you were able to hold on to that track position at the end and eventually get that third place finish there.
That's right. Bald tires get the job done.
There you go. Well, we'll roll out that red carpet for you, Carl, and give any thanks or shout outs you'd like to give for the third place podium finishing tonight.
You got to, of course, thank, everybody that makes this possible. I mean, it's a lot of fun racing every week with these guys and, teammates over at Blind Squirrel.
A lot of fun, and looks like you guys did pretty well out there, and congratulations again on that third place finish. Carl, hope to talk to you again soon.
All right, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Alrighty, so that is going to bring in the 6 machine of Bud Steele to the broadcast booth. Bud, you definitely had some opportunities there at the end of it, given some really great pushes to a couple different drivers there, and not quite able to get the victory, but able to push a 25 there, and want to hear how it went from your perspective inside the cockpit tonight.
Oh, thanks, Boomer. Yeah, we were just trying to go an extra lap each stop, just so we didn't have to, hopefully not pit with everyone. So that was working out, but it would have worked out either way. We had the timely cautions for us since we were staying out. I don't know, that happened twice, I think. But there at the end, on that last caution, I went ahead and took 4 because I think that's probably why Jack, a combination of touching the apron a little bit, and Jack had right side tire, so I don't know if that caused him to lose it there. But we were, doing well, and I think we're going to be good there to the end. Everything was working out fuel wise, strategy wise, and got to the front at the right time. And Kevin got uh, got clear to come up in front of me, and that's okay. I owe him one anyway from last season, I believe. So that was okay. I had to stay with him to get second because I don't think otherwise, if I didn't stay with him, we would have been fighting it out for second and third. And so I just stuck with him, and good job, Kevin.
Yeah, definitely. Seemed like you were in the right place at the right time. Obviously, a couple incidents it looked like that you avoided, but thankfully for staying out there, it seemed like the cautions kind of fell your guys' way. Pretty much anybody that stayed out was benefactor of most of those yellows there. With the first caution coming out at about the first pit cycle, and then the final caution coming out, or I think the second last caution maybe coming out right as everybody needed to pit to the end. So. Seems like it kind of fell your way, and track position was there when you needed it the most.
Oh, absolutely. Got lucky. Well, we were going to be okay either way. It'd have been nice for it to just stay green and get through some green flag pit stops, see where everybody, fell out. So, yeah, good job. And let's see. I don't know how Jack recovered. I think Jim ended up getting fourth. So it was a pretty good night for Roswell Motorsports. And on to where are we going?
iRacing Super Speedway.
iRacing. Oh, great. No, I love that place. So yeah, that should be fun.
Yeah, to say I think you got a win there 2 seasons ago, right? Is that not, if I'm not mistaken, or 3 seasons ago maybe?
A couple seasons ago, and
Yeah.
then I came up, lost by I think 0.003 of a second in the last race there last year.
Yeah, so you've definitely had some good history at that track so far, and it'll be interesting to see how that goes next week. But just one more question for this week. It seemed like obviously we had some chaos that kind of came out at different times, kind of limited the pit strategy a little bit. We've seen races that have gone completely green flag here at Atlanta. We've seen races that have upwards of like 8 or more cautions. What were you kind of expecting coming in tonight, and were you expecting all those cautions to fall when they did?
Well, I thought we might have one, maybe two at the most, but I thought that happened, early on while everyone was, getting used to running in pack like that. But yeah, they fell at the right time. So everybody, I'm not sure. I think a couple of them might have been from people slowing down for pit stops. Is that right?
Yeah, I think the first 2 yells came out that way, just someone slowing down and then getting tagged, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's what we were trying to avoid by going that extra lap and jumping up in the outside lane when we thought people might start pitting. So yeah, uh, had a good night.
Yeah, good night indeed. Right place, right time. Obviously, you started up front, and for the most part, when we mentioned you stayed there, and it seemed like it was a pretty good effort from the Roswell team, and certainly for you in that number 6 Navy Ford Mustang. But want to roll that red carpet for you now, Bud, and give you any chances for thanks or shout outs for tonight's second place finish.
Well, always thank you, Boomer. You do just a great job. Love going back and watching my Roswell teammates. Hope nobody got banged up. So, and always thank my beautiful wife for supporting me in this, and on to iRacing Super Speedway.
Good deal, bud. Well, thanks to you too, and appreciate you, buddy. Best of luck next week at iRacing Super Speedway. Hope to talk to you again soon.
Yeah, I'll talk to you next week.
Sounds good. All right, I
right.
love it.
Take care, Boomer.
You too, buddy.
We'll see you. Bye.
All right, love the confidence from the 6 of Bud Steele there. Solid run for him in the top 5 pretty much all night, but we still got one more interview to go, and that is for race winner Kevin Freese in the number 25 machine. Seen you making some moves. Probably one of the, other than the cars involved in yellow flag or crashes, you seem like you were the one making the most moves and doing the most out there, having the most fun, probably at least. Yeah, want to take us through that first place finish there tonight, Kevin, from the view behind the driver's seat or in the driver's seat.
Yeah, I love this car and track combo. It really puts a lot back into the driver's hands, and you can really make a difference if you just take care of your tires a little bit. And on that first run, I was hoping to see it go green. That caution came out. I think it was the lap. I still had one more lap of fuel. But then when I went into pit, I noticed my right side tires were still at 93%, and I'm like, dang, I did a decent job on that one, and I also was able to stretch out enough fuel that it would have eliminated. I was good with 2 stops. And then I noticed when in that one stint when I was leading the pack, I was going to be well short of fuel and have to do an extra one. So quickly changed plans, dropped back a little bit, and saved. And then the cautions fell, and we had a heck of a battle there. I think this is one of the better races that Area 51 has had at Atlanta. In terms of, like, we had a couple incidents with people coming into pit road. I managed to avoid the one. Both of them, I think, were right by me. The one I was going into the pits and was able to pull out. So, yeah, it was a good night. Fun night.
Yeah, I think that was our next question was going to be what happened there when you pulled out of the line, but that makes sense that it was fuel mileage there. Were you thinking about being able to go to the end, or was it, rephrase that. Were you thinking of being able to pit with one more pit stop at that point, or
Yeah.
were you trying to? Okay, you were trying to save to pit with one more. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I was trying to just stretch it out. I think I was like, it was not tremendously short, but it was short enough that I wouldn't have been comfortable doing it. So I went to the back and I found a nice little hole that had a big enough gap that I could still stay pretty close to the pack, but clutch it on corner entry. So I think it was an additional 2 laps doing that way. So that would have been huge if we went green. And it was actually pretty significant for when the yellow came out, because I pulled into my pit stall, I think, with like 0.2 gallons.
There you go. Yeah, it
Wow.
was interesting when we saw that, because we saw, actually we were watching, Matt picked up on it, and we were watching in the in-car. We maybe spy camming on you, but we did see that. Weren't sure if you were shutting it off or clutching or what, but we saw
Yes,
that. But
all the above.
yeah,
all the above.
Did you think that some people were not going to be able to make it on one stop to the end?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was pretty much, at that point, was anybody else going to go with you and be able to do that at one stop, or you think you were going to be kind of a lonely duck being the only one on that, or sitting duck being on that lonely strategy?
I think Maxwell's group was on the same
Also,
one, because
okay.
they were the guys who were like, they were probably a second behind me saving, and then come towards that pit stop time, they started to push right back up to the group. So I imagine they were coming into pit on that next lap like I was. So I think they were the only ones who were going to be in that scenario, because I think when I talked to Gabe about it, he was going to be short. So
Interesting.
yeah, because I noticed it, and I had like 2.5 gallons, I think, left in my tank when I realized, and finally looked at my fuel calculator, because it's not on my screen right in front of my face, but hey, that kind of stuff. Sometimes a fuel mileage race here, I think, is better than when it's at like Talladega and Daytona. Talladega and Daytona, those are dreadful, because it's just ride in line, and it doesn't take a whole lot. Here, like, I gained 2 laps by just clutching it for a few laps there, and I think that's way more fun because it's not a matter of just riding in line. You're actually thinking about what you have to do to try and gain that little bit for the pit stop. It still would have been pretty close with me getting back around. I was looking forward to that.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty good opportunity, and obviously we kind of picked up on that on the broadcast. It was interesting to see, so appreciate getting to figure out what was going on there. But I mean, we saw some good moves from you as well in the draft. Obviously, you made a nice 3-wide move towards the middle there to be the first car in the outside lane, and I think for the most part after that, you kind of, I know you mentioned the fuel save mode, but it seemed like you had the track position for most of the rest of the way after that point.
Yeah, I had pushed, I think it was the 75 car that I guess is Chad. I had pushed him back clear to the bottom, and then I was a little surprised to see him come back up because you had to work so hard in the outside line. And we noticed the same thing on Sunday night when we were running the trucks here. It used to be the bottom lane was almost like a death sentence because you you could just get held down so much and you didn't have the acceleration off. But now it's the top lane. You really have to work hard because you're losing the nose. The tires are falling off, obviously. And by the time you generate your run back, it's the end of the straightaway here. But yeah, I was surprised to see him come up, and he went really high when he came back up. And that's why I was like, all right, I'm not doing that one again. I can't. I just was like, I know I can safely split the gap here and went for it.
Yeah, I had enough momentum to just make the move and stick it in there. But yeah, no, that was awesome. You, like I said, you probably, other than drivers involved in incidents or yellows, you seem to have the most fun out there tonight. And I want to give you that opportunity now to roll out that red carpet for any thanks or shout outs for that win, the first of the season for you, Kevin.
Yeah, thank you to you and Matt for putting on the broadcast for us, and Matt for popping in for any administrative assistance that's required during the race. It's certainly, I'm sure, makes it a lot of juggling for him trying to focus on the race and listening to some of us when we're talking. Mm-hmm. And thanks to the admin team behind the scenes, and thanks to all the drivers for putting on a pretty good show tonight. I think everybody, for the most part, had a lot of fun. There was a couple people who got caught up in some stuff, but overall, for our first race of the season here, I think it's pretty good, and we can build on it.
Good deal.
Hey, you have no idea how hard it is doing it at an Indy series by yourself. It's not fun. Let me tell you.
Yeah, I can imagine driving those Indy cars can be sometimes a handful as it is.
They are, especially at Homestead.
Oh yeah, me and Homestead don't get along in a stock car, so I can't imagine me in one of those.
Oh, it's a great track. Ain't that right, Boomer?
That's my favorite on the sim, but yeah.
There you go.
No, where officials are at Auto Club, that's the most fun.
There you go. That's a good one too. But we'll wish you well, Kevin, and say congratulations once again for that win tonight, and wish you the best of luck going into iRacing Super Speedway next week.
Yep. I hope you guys have a good night and everybody enjoyed the show.
Thanks again to Kevin, and I think we could definitely say that everyone enjoyed the show, or at least we hope so. It was a lot of fun to bring the action to you guys, and we had a lot of fun calling it from the booth here, Matt.
I have loads of fun. It's a learning experience. Every time I learn some of these guys, I try to put it on paper, but it just don't add up. But I'll leave it to the guys who do it better and come out victorious.
Victorious it was for Kevin Freese as he comes home with his first win of the season. Bud Steele in second place, Carl Engel in third. You've heard from those drivers as we'll go through the rest of the running order here. Jim Brooks had a good position there after Kevin Freese jumped to the high side, but unfortunately he's going to have to settle for fourth. Still a pretty solid night. Yeah. Good effort. Brian Anderson, BK Anderson, coming back from starting on pit lane for at least one lap down, comes back to a top 5 finish, and a very great effort for him to not give up and not call it quits. Andrew Pileshi will come home in the 6th position. Maxwell Caldwell, his teammate, just behind him. And Jack Wall is recovering from that spin in turn 3 on old left side tires there. He's going to come back for the 8th finishing position. Bob Fitzgerald in the 08 has a pretty solid top 10 for himself tonight, and Rick Sanchez spent some time at the front, but he's going to have to settle for 10th. I believe he was one of the drivers caught up in that last lap action there, as well as Justin Lewis, unfortunately, who kind of got shuffled out there at one point in time. So bummer for him as he got shuffled out of the lead after the contact, I believe, with the 6 of Bud Steele there. And we'll get into...
that was rough.
Yeah, definitely. That was a hard hit too, thankfully. Well, no, actually the 77 didn't have a hit, but
Talking about the 28.
Yeah, the 28 saw some hard hits for sure, but yeah, Jacob Lee coming up through the field there, but he is going to have to settle for 12th. He's the first car one lap down, him and his teammate Hondo Longmire, one lap down in the 12th and 13th positions respectively. Todd Merkel there, we saw Gabe Butler, those two trying to battle for the lucky dog towards the end. Ambrose Knievel there with some connection issues, unfortunately, and some contact on the outside wall. Definitely a bummer for him, and hope to see him closer up to the front with his teammate of Carl Lingle. But the way racing goes sometimes isn't always fair, as Eric Laurie is going to come home 3 laps down, as well as Chad Jones. And the rest of the grid, the results you'll see here, as we got Adam Kilday 15 laps down, retiring early. Austin Call pretty much caught up in every single incident there was, and I don't think most of it was his doing, unfortunately, so just not a great night for Austin there. Nick Wing, we saw him pretty much die on the front straightaway there, as he was the one who slid across the front stretch and hit the inside wall really hard, but did not bring out a yellow, so he's going to come home 25 laps down. Keith Horner retiring early, and then Matt Wagner and Dean Wilkinson jumping in the practice session, but not starting the race. So thank you for that, Matt, and get to score your car at least. Does that mean you get 23rd place points tonight?
I guess. I'll take the points and run.
I'll petition that. I'll talk to Gael and see if we can remove those from you. But
oh, come on!
Nah,
I was starting park driver.
There you go. Well, you didn't even finish 1 lap. You're 90 laps down. You got to do 1 lap and then come up to the booth so you can start.
I don't think Gael will approve of that.
No, I don't think so either. But all in good fun. Definitely appreciate having you alongside tonight, Matt. And I guess I'll let you have your floor, your time to go through anything you wanted to talk about from tonight.
I will. As we said, mistakes. There were pits that were called out during the race. Most other drivers didn't see that call, and guys need to be more aware that when we're pitting, just kind of be more heads up. Because we had a few accidents that happened here tonight, but all in all, Kevin made some really magnificent moves out there tonight, and for that he was rewarded for a win.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely one of, like we said, the most exciting drivers to watch, other than some of the guys caught up in some of the incidents and actions throughout the night, but a very hard-earned race win for him without a lot of teammate help tonight, which is fairly unusual for the Bootknocker drivers, but Kevin able to grab the win anyway, and we will look forward to coming back next week at iRacing Super Speedway. Going to be a lot of fun at the fictional 3 Mile Oval, as we'll get prepared to do battle there. It'll be on February 1st, next Thursday. We'll have Talladega the week after that, then we'll have a break the week of Valentine's Day, and then we'll come back the week of February 22nd to come back to Atlanta Motor Speedway. So again, we'll be back next week with iRacing Super Speedway, followed by Talladega the week after that. And then in 4 weeks' time, it'll be back here again at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Lots of fun to be had on the Thursday night series here with the Super Speedway Xfinity cars. And don't forget, there's lots of action Tuesdays and Sunday nights as well here at Green White Checkered TV. We've got the Truck Series, the Super Speedway Series on Sunday nights, and we've got the IndyCar Series, which we can finally broadcast again on Tuesday nights. So 3 nights of action here once again on Green White Checker TV. Don't forget to check it all out and don't miss any of the action. We'll be live at about 7:25 Central, 8:25 Eastern every single week on those 3 nights. And I think that'll pretty much do it for us tonight, Matt.
Yeah, I'm ready to ride off in the sunset. More like bed.
I'm ready for bed myself, my friends. So for myself, Boomer Logan, and my buddy Matt Wagner, we will sign off now. Thank you all for joining. Hope you have a great week, and take care.